Imagine having all your tasks, projects, and team conversations in one place. No more switching between apps, no more missed deadlines, and no more chaos. What if you could organize your entire work life with just a few clicks? Welcome to the world of ClickUp 4.0. Whether you're a freelancer juggling clients, a business owner scaling your team, or just tired of sticky notes and scattered spreadsheets, this tutorial is your shortcut to mastering ClickUp's latest version. Stick with me for the next hour, and I'll show you how to turn ClickUp into your productivity powerhouse. No experience is needed. Ready to transform the way you work? Let's dive in. First, let's check the latest pricing of different packages on ClickUp's official website. For this demo, I will be using free plan. Provide password. A 4-digit code will be sent to your email. Copy that and paste it. Follow the prompts to set up your workspace. You can skip this for now, especially adding the themes, which should ideally do once you are comfortable with your setup. However, do provide a name for the workspace because that will be the one that appears at the top. This can be your business name. For this demo, I am using Demo Workspace. When I finish, this will land me to the ClickUp's workspace. If you're already a ClickUp user, you may be using ClickUp 3.0, whereas all new signups will land with ClickUp 4.0 interface. For 3.0, you can watch my video, link shown above, to understand the difference and switch the options. With version 4.0 on the left, you see the vertical bar, which is a global navigation, having home, planner, brain, and more, from where you can pin or unpin the sections of ClickUp and customize navigation, invite users, or upgrade at the bottom left. At the top of the global navigation is Home, which leads you to the Home sidebar. It is here from where you can access your notifications, tasks, conversations, and favorite items, spaces, channels, direct messages. These all appear here, which I'll cover later in this video. The center at the top has a search bar, which you can use to search anything within your workspace. Ask AI. On the top right is some shortcuts, My Tools, Record Clips, and your profile avatar, where you have your personal settings, themes, keyboard shortcuts, help, and under the personal tools, these are all the items that you can pin or unpin. Once you pin them, they will start appearing to the left of your avatar. While on the home sidebar, you can create tasks, lists, folders, spaces, docs, forms, etc. by using the Create button here. You can also create a custom section for yourself, provide it a name, and it will start showing up in the sidebar. My daily work, as you can see, and then you can add what you want to access more often. The first item on the home is Inbox, which is your notifications, replies made through commands or chat within ClickUp, assigned comments, any comments that are assigned to you, my task. This is important and ideally should give you a whole plan of your day. It retrieves all tasks from the workspace that are assigned to you, broken down into sections. You have an agenda. You can create and connect your calendar with it. The My Work widget here shows you your to-do tasks done and those being delegated. Then you have your personal list. In addition to the work assigned to you, you can create more items here, more tasks here. As the name suggests, it will stay personal to you. You can pin more items like chat activity, drafts, posts, all channels, all spaces, etc. Now you see all spaces and posts have started to appear there.
Now you can have your spaces right from the home. You can see all your visible spaces appear on the right. Spaces dedicated section, and you can also favorite them so that they start appearing in the favorites. This becomes handy when you have a lot of spaces and you work in a dedicated one. Sidebar will have them appear on the sidebar, and the top one will show on the top. So I have did sidebar and it's appearing under the favorites, and when I do top, you can see that they are appearing right at the top. You can also unfavorite them, unpin them. The next thing is planner, which is your calendar. Once your calendar is set up, you have tasks, they will start appearing here, and then you can integrate it with your Outlook or Google. Brain is more feature-rich AI provided by ClickUp. You can utilize it to work with anything within the workspace or make use of the AI model it provides. When giving your prompts, you can select the sources it should use to generate the outcome, which are given right at the bottom, all sources, and you can choose from here. Next is teams, where you can set up your teams and view their activity. Using the More tab, you can pin more sections to show in the global navigation, like spaces, docs, whiteboards. They will come in here. As a new user, this may all seem overwhelming, which is natural, but once you understand the structure, it becomes easy. ClickUp organizes your work in a hierarchy from top level down to tasks and subtasks, which is key to stay organized. Think of it like a whole building having floors, each having rooms, and rooms having their own furnishing. At the top of the hierarchy is Workspace. Workspace have spaces. Spaces are like departments or major projects. For example, you might have marketing space, development space, or a personal space. Folders live inside space and group-related lists. For example, in your marketing space, you could have a folder for social media campaigns. Lists are inside folders and contain your tasks. They can be without a folder as well, directly under the space. Nested folders are in beta right now, and they can have the list of their own. Lists contain tasks, which are the actionable items, what you actually need to get done. You can also create subtasks and checklists within tasks for even more detail. Subtasks can have nested subtasks as well. It's really important that you set up the hierarchy very well, because this is where the permissions get set up, all of the customization happens, and views and reporting gets better and more effective. This is the major difference that ClickUp provides as compared to other project management tools like Monday, Asana, etc. Let's visualize an example. So IT Vision is a workspace here. Operations and finance is one space. Marketing and sales are other two spaces. Under operations and finance, we have different folders, employees, operations, accounts, and each one of them have two lists here. Employees has onboarding and trainings. Operations has 2026 ops plan, organizational goals. Accounts have income and expenses. And then operations have a subfolder, asset management, having inventory as a list. Organizational goals can have different tasks now. It's a list there. And then each task has different subtasks like KPIs and a checklist that says action items. Marketing has a media placement as a folder with community and branding as lists. Sales is appearing without a folder to show you how it looks like. So leads, deals, and contacts are the three lists there. Do not overcomplicate your hierarchy use. Now that you understand the hierarchy, let's move to setting it up in ClickUp. In ClickUp, you already have the workspace created when you sign up. So demo workspaces, which is my workspace. I've deleted the placeholder spaces that appears by default when you create an account. Now let's create your own spaces. Click the plus icon next to the spaces. Give your space a name, choose a color and icon, and set permissions. You can set up permissions, full edit, edit. Each of them have their own details provided, comment, and view only. In Business Plus and Enterprise, you have more choices. Choose your workflow. I'm starting with the starter. Then set what you want as your default views. That is the ways you want to see your tasks, whether Kanban style, board view, Gantt, calendar, etc. You can check or uncheck them here. If you do not choose any of them here, you can still add more views at folder or list level later. Default statuses are to do, in progress, and complete. You can edit them. I'm adding review here. Provide a color, save it. Now apply the change and it will start appearing. ClickUps is the ClickUp section for you to enable the ClickUps that you want. Priority, email, tags, time estimates, time tracking, custom fields, dependency warnings, all that apply. You can always edit your statuses as well as enable or disable ClickUps later. Let's create a space. We have our ops or finance space being set up. Lists start appearing by default. They're created by default and we can rename them. Inside the space, click Add Folder to group related projects or workflows. I'm using similar names as in my examples for your easy understanding. So the new folder I create is Employees. I'm using the same statuses as at the space level. So this is where the hierarchy comes in play. However, we can customize it at folder levels or at list levels too. The next folder we need is Operations. And then Accounts. And you see that the list gets created automatically there. Now, a list can have its own statuses. So if we go here, you do not want to use the ones inherited from the space, you can customize the list for different statuses that can be used for different views. You will notice that there are statuses under different categories: not started, active, done, and closed. Anything that is marked as done in a status will not show as overdue. So I'm adding on hold and in review under active, and under done it's not applicable because there are some scenarios where an action doesn't appear as applicable, so we can set it up as done. Now I'm saving it as a template for reuse. So this is again a good feature. I've named it as Accounts. Now you can see that it's appearing as Accounts template, and now this is created at the folder level with the accounts. So all of the lists under accounts can inherit that custom status, or they can have their own as well. Now you can see here under the employees, we have to do in progress and review, whereas under accounts, the list have the custom statuses that we set up. Now we'll go forward and rename the list that we had created. So under employees, there is one by default. Now you'll notice that when a new list is created, this pop-up appears that shows you the list settings, where you can create more custom fields, make use of the default task type. You can change it. You can change the statuses here again as well if you do not want them to inherit from the folder or from the space level. So for this demo, I am not making any changes to it now, and I'll just say no thanks and move forward. Now we are done with one space with all its folders and lists. And as per the hierarchy that we had created, we have more spaces as well, marketing and sales. So we'll move forward and create those as well. We have media placement folder under marketing, and we are renaming the list to community. We can also drag and drop the list in and out of the folders. So this one was out of the media placement folder. I renamed it branding and moved it under the folder media placement by just dragging. Sales will have a folder list. So we'll just be renaming the first one to leads and adding up 2 more. Deals and contacts. Now all of our spaces are ready as per the hierarchy. This structure helps keep your work organized and scalable as your needs grow. You can always come back and optimize it further and see what you need at each folder, at each list level. However, it's important that your SOPs are defined so that you know what changes you are doing and what everybody is entitled to do.
Once your spaces are set up with folders and lists, you can also add a document, dashboard, whiteboard, and form. Right-click on the space name if the doc pertains to overall department. If it's for a particular specific folder, you can create it at the folder level. Provide it a name and then start adding the content. You can set it up with all these attributes. There's a template, new subpages. You can use banners, buttons, checklists, tables. You can format it with all the heading types, bulleted lists. So all the formatting and all the integrations are available. I'm just copying and pasting content here so that you can see how it actually looks. You can also add a cover page. So this is the cover. You can also link this document to a task or to another document, mark it as a wiki, add icon, go to the settings. Here in the settings, these are the similar that you were able to see when you were creating the document, where you can have the cover image and everything. Let's create a dashboard now. I'm creating it at the folder level so that every list that is under the employees folder should capture data from that. You can see how the information is organized here. You can have unassigned tasks, in progress, completed, workload by status. And if I go into the settings of any of the cards, you'll see here that the data source is employees. That means this is the folder. So everything coming up under that folder, just getting the data from there. You can obviously come in and set it up according to your needs. Task completed, open task, total task by assignee. So all of these cards are available. You can rename your dashboard so that it depicts what information it is providing. And obviously you can see more information once you have tasks populated and the team starts working. If you go on add card, you have more options here. However, these options are limited based on the plan. So in the free plan, there are very limited options for dashboards. There is even a limitation on the dashboard as well. Now let's create a whiteboard at the space level. You can utilize a template or start from scratch. You can find the options here when you'll start it, and you can choose. Now here you can see that there are a lot of templates available, like process maps, matrices, affinity diagrams, planning, block diagrams. So based on what your role is, you can choose here. I am choosing the blank mind map. So you can provide a name here. And again, it asks you for the location. So if you want to choose any other location, you can do that. But we're creating it in ops and finance space. Now this is how the template loads. You can see that all of the drawings are available for you to drag and drop to change them. You can add up new shapes as well if you want, so that you can modify it, customize it as you need. But it's always advisable to start it from a template so that you have an idea of how it works, and then you can connect different shapes to each other and customize it as you need. Now let's create a form at employee folder level to get feedback. You can utilize a template and further customize it or start one from scratch. So I'm going to use the feedback form template here. At the top is your heading and a description of it. You can always edit it. You can change the colors of the banner. You can change the text as well. Now these are the fields, topic of feedback. If I edit it, you'll see that this is a task name. So any information provided under topic of the feedback, it will be appearing as a task name here in the list. The second, tell us about your experience. Now this one is set up as a description. So when somebody will share their experience, this will get saved in the description of the task. We can add more questions. I'm going to add rating. So this is a new field. I'll provide rate from 1 to 5. And then in the emoji types, I can select a star. So I'll just search for a star. When that appears, I'll click on it and it will start appearing there. And from numbers, I want it from 1 to 5. So this is how I have created it. You can add more questions as you need. Now we'll go up. Changing cover is an option, but that's on a paid plan. So you can't apply any covers to the form in your free plan. However, you can change the logo. You can preview it. And if you copy the link and open it in a new browser, so this is how it appears and it doesn't need any login. So let's fill this form to see how the information appears. Now, demo of ClickUp. This should go as a task name and excellent should go under the description. And this is the star rating. Once I submit it, it comes in the list. You can have automation set up on this later, like this can get assigned to somebody with a due date and that stuff. So you can see demo ClickUp, excellent is appearing in the description, and then we have the ratings. So this is pretty much of how you can add up your forms, whiteboards, dashboards, and documents. Now that you have a structure in place, let's start adding a task. I'll go into the onboarding list. You can add a task right here, or you can go at the top right and click on Add Task. Provide a clear title, save it, then you can provide the assignee, due date, and you can set a priority as well. Once this is done, then if you hover over here, you can see that the plus icon allows you to add a subtask, and you can add tags, and you can rename the task as well. Let's add some subtasks here. Once you have the subtasks, you can also set up the assignees, the due dates, and priorities for them as well. I am copying tasks together and adding them up here. When I do this, gives you the whole layout of the task. At the top is the status, where you can move it into different stages. Assignees show up, and then the dates. You can also determine the start date of the task and then adjust the end date as well. This is really appealing for the Gantt charts. Time estimates and tracking time. These are the things you might need as project managers or managers, and estimating the task is good. Now, here is the task description, and you can have all the formatting options and linkage available here. Custom fields, I'll come to that later. Now, subtasks and checklists. The subtasks that we created are appearing here. You can add up more columns similar to what you can have at the task level. You can similarly have them all in the subtask level as well. Checklists are your items which are not actually things you need to do, but for instance, for submitting the identification documents, these can be your passports, your driving license. So those sort of things where actions cannot be performed. So this is a difference that you should actually maintain, and where many go wrong. And sometimes they skip the subtask and add subtasks as checklists. However, you can't have due dates to checklists, but they can be assigned. You can have nested subtasks as well. Now, if you scroll up, here is the relationships field, and it is here where you can provide links, or you can set up the dependencies, whether this task is Depending on some other tasks, you can link documents as well, and you can create custom relationships here where you can bring in data from the other lists and create the roll-up fields as well. Activity actually shows you what's going on, what you have been doing on that particular task. This again moves you to the links, a shortcut for that, the same as the relationships. The three dots here give you more options. You can have favorites, make the task as favorite, convert it into a task or subtask, task types, duplicates, unfollow the task if you do not want any notifications, add it to another list or to your personal list, and you can also move this task from one location to another. So all of these shortcuts are available. You can save the task as a template as well, or you can add or apply templates to it. If you click on Sections tab, it makes it more organized in different sections. At the top here, you can see the task type. So these are the defaults that are appearing. By default, it will be the task, but you can set it up as milestone, form response, etc. The task IDs are for automations. You can also add a cover to your task. At the top here, there are shortcuts again to move a task to another list or to add it to another list. That would mean that it will stay here and it will be part of another list as well. You can share the task if it's private, but you want to share it with somebody else, you can do that. Let's add another task, and then I'll show you how to set up a dependency or relationships that we were talking about. So here in relationships, I am just setting up the dependency. So I'll say that this task is waiting on the other task, complete new hire paperwork. Now you see here that it appears here in the relationships, and it shows up that this task is waiting on another task to get complete. So you can't start work on this one until the previous task or the predecessor's task is complete. Now you see they're blocking here because the first task is now blocking the other task. So this is how you set up your tasks. Custom fields in ClickUp let you add extra information to your task. You can add them at the folder, space, or list level. There are different types of fields: text for notes, names or details, numbers for budgets, quantities, drop-downs for categories or stages, checkboxes, URLs, emails, phone numbers, so you can add them up. Now you can add them at the workspace level if they would apply to all the spaces. However, if these are dedicated to a particular space or list or folder, then you should come in there and add them. I'm going to add custom fields at the sales space level. I'm choosing a text field, a client name. Now, because a client name can be associated with a lead, deal, and context, that's why it's good to add it up at the space level. Now you would be able to see that this client name is visible on leads, deals, and contacts. So whenever you will click on the task, when you create a task and click on the description and all of the fields will show up, then you'll be able to see the client name as well. Let's create another field, which is a contract value. And this is the one that I am creating at the deals level. So this is a deals list because contract value is more associated with the deals. So it's better to create it at the list level. Even if you not have created this at different spaces, once you are in another space and you create a new field, you will be prompted to choose the existing fields, so you can choose them from there. Now, if I go to the sales space and I'm in the deals, I'm adding a column, and because the custom field already exists, I can show it up here in this view. So custom fields are one of the most powerful ways to make ClickUp truly your own, helping you organize, track, and report on anything you need. So now if we go at the overview level of the sales space, here we can set up the filters based on the custom fields. So I'll choose client name. So here I can say that whether the client name contains or doesn't contain a specific phrase, and it will show me the data associated with that client. You can tailor ClickUp to fit your unique processes. You can track things like budgets, priorities, links, anything else you need. In addition to custom fields, Tags in ClickUp are a simple way to label and categorize your task, making it easy to filter, search, and group related work across your workspace. So I am adding 2 tasks here, and now I'll create a tag for them. You can add one or more tags to any task to highlight whoever you want to, whether it's a priority, it's a type of client or quarter. Hover over the task and then create a tag. We'll just create it. You can use the same tag on the other task or create a new one. Now you can filter this list view based on the tag. Tag is or tag is not. So tag is hot deal. Now it's showing me only the deals which are hot deals. You can filter this at the space level as well, or into another space. So I'm going to the ops and finance space and I apply the filter based on that tags which I've created. And similarly, I can go at the all task level, which brings in the data from all of the spaces and apply that filter there as well. So tags are flexible and help you stay organized, especially when you want to track work across different projects or teams. You can see here now I have applied the tag and it will only show me the deal, which is a cold deal. ClickUp offers multiple ways to visualize your work. At the space level, you have a default tab overview. It gives a high-level summary of the space, including recent activity, key metrics, and important tasks. It may include widgets for workload, progress, or custom charts, but it all depends on your plan which you are in. And this overview helps you quickly assess project's health and team activity, as you can apply filters to further drill down. Views can be created at any level: space, folder, or list. List view is the default of any list. So the default view that you see when you are in a list is actually a view in itself. Again, this can be retrieved at the folder or space level as well. It displays all tasks in a simple sortable table format. You can quickly scan the task details, edit fields, and use bulk actions. You can group by status, assignees, priorities, due dates, task types, custom fields as well once they're created. You can also show the subtasks being expanded or collapsed as you want. And if you go into the plus icon, which is to add columns, you can add up existing columns to show up in that view, and you can create new columns as well. So I'm going to create notes here. So this column was not already there and it's been created now. Now to apply the bulk actions, you can select the tasks, and at the bottom this tab will appear where you can apply the actions on all the tasks together. You can change the statuses, set up the assignees, set up the due dates, set up custom fields, tags. You can move or add to another list, convert to subtasks, archive, delete, copy, and perform some more actions as shown here. You can access the columns from the top as well. You can apply filters based on status, tags, due date, priority, task description, custom fields, and if you want to see the closed task, you can enable that as well. View tasks based on assignees and more. Board view shows tasks as cards and columns, perfect for Kanban workflows. You can drag and drop tasks between columns to update their status or show a stage. Columns can represent statuses, assignees, priorities, or custom fields. You can visualize work in progress and bottlenecks at a glance. So you can expand the subtask as well and save this view. You can sort the data by different aspects, filter in the same way as you can do on the list view, and then you can customize your board view where you can adjust the card size, stack up the fields, and whether you want to show up empty fields or not. And then you can show up some more fields on the cards as well. So for instance, if I just click on date updated, you'll see here that it is now showing up the date this specific task was updated. Click on the plus icon. It gives you options for more views: list, scan, doc, calendar, form, dashboard, table, timeline, activity. So there are a lot of options. Let's choose the calendar view. Calendar view visualizes tasks on a calendar by start or due date. It lets you plan your week or month and see the workload distribution. So day, 4 days, week, or month. You can all sort it out. You can also drag tasks to reschedule them easily. Now notice that when I reschedule it, it has a dependency that's been rescheduled as well. So this is only possible if you have the reschedule dependencies ClickUp enabled. You can apply filters as with every view, customize it, and if you click on the right, you can see whether you want to see some of the unscheduled tasks overdue, and it's here where you can add your Google Calendar as well. Once you click on it, it will prompt you to the next steps. Let's now add a Gantt view. Gantt view provides a timeline view of tasks showing start, end dates, and dependencies. You can visualize project schedules, milestones, and critical paths. For critical paths, you'll have to enable it from the settings. So if you enable show critical path, it will show you the critical path. There are more options for rescheduling dependencies, your assignees, task names, and then you can view by day, week, month, quarter, year. You can also drag up the task durations or dependencies directly on the timeline. Let's now move into dashboards. So dashboards, as with other views, can be created at list level, at folder level, or at the space level. For this demo, I'm going to create this at the space level so that it brings up all of the information from all of the folders within it, employees, operations, accounts, along with the list. So I'm going to choose task management here, and here you can make sure that the data source is the whole space. So employees, operations, accounts are all checked. You can customize it as you need. So this is being created from the template. You can see the AI executive summary if you have AI enabled. This is very useful here, which brings up all the information from all of the data sources that are being selected. You can view tasks by assignees, statuses, and everything, and you can add more cards as well based on your plan. You can apply filters, and you can also schedule a report. So you can set up the automation whenever you want it run, and this dashboard report will be emailed to you. Now, if we go into the dashboards in the global navigation, I want to show you that how we can create a dashboard that includes all of the spaces. So again, I'm using task management, but here I will select all of the spaces. Now, this dashboard is bringing up data from all of the spaces. So it's very good for the higher levels, for executives to see what's been going on all over the business. You can favorite it out so that it starts appearing on your home navigation. You can see it starts appearing under the favorites for easy access. Very effective for reporting. Templates are like ready-made blueprints for your work. Instead of building every project, task, or checklist from scratch, you can use a template to get started quickly and keep things consistent. Open the template center from the workspace or when you're creating a new item at a space level, folder level, or list. Let's go to this workspace level and click on templates. Now here you'll see that they are being categorized into template types. So spaces, that means that the template will be created as a space. So if you click on folder, this is a folder template. So any of those that you are chosen here, they will appear under the spaces. You can search for specific templates as well using keywords like onboarding, and it will show you all of the folder templates being folder selected from the template types. You have templates as a list, then there are task templates, there are document templates as well, and templates for views and whiteboards. The complexity is also defined. If you're a beginner, you can choose only those that are for beginners, intermediate, or advanced levels. Let's now move into a folder and set up our own list template. So we have the list here, onboarding. Click on the three dots, templates, and save as template. Provide the name of the template and then share with whom it should be accessed, with all members, everyone including guests and limited members, only yourself, admins only, or specific people. And if you have to share it publicly, then you can enable the public sharing. You can customize the import items as well, whether you want to include automations, views, assignees, tags, all of the attributes associated with the task or not. And then you can save this as a template. Now let's go and utilize that template. Because it's a list template, so I'll click on the space and templates. Under the workspace, templates is appearing now because we just created it. Template onboarding. When we can provide the name, and then we can set up the location. Where should this list be created? So we already have one in the ops and finance, so let's create that in the marketing one. Import everything, that's fine for us. You can customize that as well. And an important factor here is that you can remap the dates as well, so that your project dates are according to what you need. You can skip weekends. Now let's use the template, and we'll see that onboarding will be created under the marketing. So this is now being created using a template, and this is a list template. What we can also do is that we can set up similar templates like task templates or folder templates. So let's create a task template. We have this task with 3 subtasks. Now let's click on it, templates, and save as template. Provide the name of the template and all the settings as you need. Remember that we are creating this as a task template. Save template, and now instead of writing up a task, just browse for the templates, and it will show you the task templates only because you're already at the task level. Now you can provide the task name and again the location and use a template. Now you see here that it will start appearing. And because the template from where it was created was in progress, this is also showing in progress. Automations in ClickUp help you save time by letting the platform handle repetitive tasks for you. Think of automations as, if this happens, then do that rules. With automations, you can move tasks when their status changes, assign tasks to the right person automatically, send reminders or notifications, apply templates when a new task is created, and much more. You can set up the automations from the workspace level, like here, or you can go directly into the list or folder where you want to create an automation. In the onboarding list and creating an automation. Now the trigger is set up only for tasks. I do not want it to be applied on subtasks, and then I'll deselect all of these because I only want it to be triggered when a user creates a task. So now in the actions, I need to determine that when a task is created by a user, assign it to this particular person. So I'm changing the assignee here. Select the user. And not only this, I can also set up the due date of this task. So I'll set up the due date, let's say after 3 days or 2 days after the trigger date. That means when the task is created today, the due date should be 2 days after that. Also provide a description of this task and then click on create. You can also enable or disable this. You can edit it, and you can duplicate the same automation to any different location so that you do not have to recreate it for all of the locations where you want. Start with simple automations to avoid repeating the processes again. Now let's create another automation where I want to apply that when a status changes from any status to in review. So from the active, I will choose review, and my action is to have a comment posted that this particular task is ready for review. So I am selecting the task name, this will show the name of the task as well and is ready for review. I can assign this comment as an action item as well. I can mention a task. I can add emojis. Now let's create that. Now let's move into our ops and finance space because these automations were created in onboarding. As you can see that there are two automations working. Now we'll be testing both of them. So let's create one task and you'll see that it will be auto-assigned and the due date will be set up as well. Now let's check the second automation by changing the status to review. You'll notice that the inbox is also showing up the updates. So this is the one coming for the first one that ClickBot assigned this task to you. Now if I go in and click on the task auto-assigned, which was in review, you see that the comment has been added up as well. ClickUp also has very useful AI agents like generating weekly reports, daily reports, team stand-ups, and then for project managers, setting up the priorities, assignees, task types, etc. So let's go into Manage Agents and create our first new AI agent. For this agent, I am creating it at a task level. So this should only apply to tasks. And here in the agent conditions, I should provide a prompt which is quite clear that when this agent should trigger. So I only want it to trigger when the task name has new hire in it. Now in the actions to launch the AI automation, I have to provide very clear instructions. So here I'm saying when a new onboarding task is created, assign all the onboarding checklist items, send a welcome message to the new hire, and notify the teams. Now under the knowledge, this is where the agent would look for to get the data. So it will look into demo workspace onboarding, but I also want it to give access to the employee's handbook so that we can share that handbook to the new hire as well. So let's go up and change the message here that when you send a welcome message to the new hire, and also share the link to the employee handbook. So this is what we provide here. We don't need to give access to web or ClickUp Help Center because this agent needs to work only from the employee handbook. So let's create and save. Let's now create a new task and end up new hire as a word in it. Sometimes it takes around 2 minutes for the agent to work, but you will get notified in the inbox as well as in the comments of that particular task. So now the inbox is showing up the alert, new hire here. Now you can see that it is how it's showing up the message. Welcome to IT Visionist, tagging that particular person, and it has shared the link to the employee handbook as well. Now, if we go into the particular task, we can see that appearing in the comments as well with the full message. In addition to these AI agents, you can also use AI or Brain, where you can click on Ask AI, and you will see that you have a lot of options because I am clicking it from the list. So it can bring me the executive summary, project update, find the duplicate tasks, find tasks that are stuck. But again, you can see from the bottom that we can choose from where it should get the data for us. ClickUp integrations let you connect ClickUp with the other apps. So you go on the workspace and click on apps, and here you see that there are a lot of apps available for you to connect your data with those apps. Slack, Zoom, Salesforce, Jira, Teams, Calendar, Drive, with the code repositories as well. So for this demo, let's go in and connect Google Calendar. So this is a sync between Google Calendar and ClickUp. When you'll do this, you can actually see your events happening. Choose your email that you want to connect to and follow the prompts to give access to ClickUp. Once this is done, you can see here that your email starts appearing, and this is a two-way sync to Google Calendar. Now, if we go to the planner, here you'll see up that the event starts showing up here from your Google Calendar into your ClickUp. Because this is a two-way sync, so if you will add events from here, they will start showing up in your Google Calendar as well. Integrations help you centralize your work, automate processes, and make ClickUp the hub for your productivity. ClickUp Chat lets you communicate with your teams directly inside your workspace, so no need to switch to other tools. From the global navigation, we can pin the chat, and then you can see that you can have direct messages. The features include formatting options like bold, italics, list, code blocks. You can have file attachments as well. Files are stored in docs for easy reference. You can use the AI-powered features, summarize threads, draft responses, and more. You can also convert the chat messages into tasks with one click. You can pin, organize, and archive chats for better sidebar management as well. You can create new whiteboards, docs, etc. You can also create channels, make them private, and then you can filter your chat by unread messages, DMs, or sort by channels. When you are within your particular task, you can make use of comments for easy collaboration. So you come in here, write a comment, or you can send an email as well. You have other options like assigning the comment to a particular person or mention a task, doc, whiteboard. You can attach a file, you can add emojis, and for more, you can record voice clips, video clips, new whiteboards, etc. Helps you collaborate easily and keep communication sync at one place. Mostly ClickUp users get overwhelmed with the notifications, so it's important that you set up your notifications. You can go from your workspace to settings and it will land you on the top bar. However, if you click on your avatar and click on settings, it will take you to your personal settings. So you can set up the notifications here, and it's recommended to set up your custom notifications. So inbox settings will show up wherever you see in the inbox. So you can customize it or you can set it up as default. So if you click on settings, you can set up all those that you can customize apart from the defaults. For emails, because I spend most of my time within ClickUp, I do not want to get email notifications. However, I have set this up custom in a way that I have disabled all of the other ones apart from an email that I want to be set up. So for that, under the start and due dates, I click on daily due dates summary email for all of the tasks that are assigned to me. And this is being set up at a specific time. And it shows me all of the tasks that are due for me today and overdue and upcoming. And I disable ClickUp's integrations, list info, and sharing for that email to be sent out to me. So once this is set up, I get up one email daily from ClickUp for what's being for me for that particular day. You can enable or disable your browser notifications and mobile. And under integrations, you can connect Slack if you are not using chat. Now, under the settings, you can change your avatar, upload a new one, change the color of it, and you can enable two-factor authentication, choose your theme colors, contrast, language, and an important thing, the start of the calendar week, the time format, and the date format you would want. And then in your preferences, you can see what you want to set up for the markdowns, the keyboard shortcuts if you want them to enable, and then save those changes to be reflected. Workspaces show you the workspaces you are part of. And for the chat, again, you can come in here and set up the chat notifications, whether you want browser notifications to be sent or not, and whether a sound should be played or not, and mobile notifications, inbox, all of them. AI note taker, it's important that whether you want to the AI note taker to be a part of your meetings or not, it's a good tool and it works really well. It shows you the recording and transcript. Under the calendars, you can see which calendar is being integrated, as we had already the Google Calendar set up. Now in the App Center, if we go into all Click apps, this is where you should be enabling or disabling the ClickUp own apps that you want to work. So chat, comment reactions, email, pulse, threaded comments. If you want the comments to appear as threads, this should be enabled. Rescheduling dependencies is important when you are setting up dependencies, and similarly the remap subtask due dates. This is important and sometimes forgotten, but you'll need to see that what options are available in your plan. Sprints for scrums. So there are a lot of apps available to you here. These are all being set up at the workspace level. So you can also go in and set up the security and permissions. You can enable two-factor authentication for all your team, single sign-on, and then you can set up how the invite permissions for the new users should work, whether they be invited as a member, limited member, or guest. And then the custom role permissions, these are not available on the free plan though. The import and exports enable you to import your data from spreadsheet documents or other tools that you're using. And this AI usage actually shows you how your AI usage is so that you know that how many credits are left for you. Trash is important to see for any of the tasks that you might have deleted, but you can come in and retrieve here, whether it's a space, folder, list, whatever have you. It stays here for 30 days. For personal level, trash can only be accessed from your avatar. You can also record clips as you do in Loom. So if you just click on record a clip, it will start recording that. And once you stop it, it will stop that. And then you can access it from your ClickUp clips. Congratulations! You have just unlocked the essentials of ClickUp 4.0. We have covered everything from setting up your workspace to automating your daily grind, and now you have the tools to organize, collaborate, and get more done without the overwhelm. But this is just the beginning. ClickUp is packed with advanced features. As you explore, you'll discover new ways to streamline your workflow and boost your productivity. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Drop your questions below, and I'll try my best to answer all of them. Thank you for watching.